everybody, Camelia here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a new sewing chat video. Today I would like to talk with you. I would like to share two dresses that I made a while ago and they didn't make the channel. And I did make some changes, some fit changes, and I was thinking they are pretty popular patterns, both of them. And I was thinking that it would be a shame not to share them here on the channel. So that's why I'm making this video, although these dresses, they are already for a while finished. First of all, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, give thumbs up to the video, very important, and leave a comment if you'd like to share your thoughts with me. I always appreciate those. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you are not already a subscriber. So I want to say that you might know, probably you are already for a while here on the channel, or maybe you are new. You know that I have a collaboration with Minerva Fabrics, and I'm sewing from them. I'm getting fabrics from them, and I get to sew stuff with them, whatever I want. And sometimes they have also we can test the sewing kits. And these two dresses that I want to talk about today, actually they are from Minerva sewing kits. So what that means is that when you are on their website and you are on one of these kits ads, you know, listings, there are all the products that are used for the particular dress. They are listed, and you can add them in one time, all of them, to your basket. And then you can order everything, or you can take things out if you have needles or thread or whatever. But the cool thing is that the patterns are matched with the right fabrics, and that's something that, you know, I'm pretty sure that for a lot of people might be challenging. And I'm seeing myself just now in the video. It's really warm here in my room. It's about 27 degrees. I have a window and a door open, and I just realized what I'm wearing. Yeah, I know I'm not very matchy, but whatever. It's really warm. This is actually one of the Minerva, Minerva has also their own they have their own patterns, and this is their Victoria blouse. This is also not on the channel here. And the pants are the lower part of it's a jolly jumpsuit. I cannot remember the name, but I wore this to that last year in Spain. They are really, it's only the lower part. They have really nice pockets, and they are made from jersey. But you know, for in this form, it's looking terrible. I know. I'm sorry. Don't look at me. Just listen to me. Back to the kits. So as I said, these two dresses are made with the Minerva sewing kits, and let's talk about the one that I have here. Actually, this one is the second toile of this one, so it's the same. The second pattern that I'm going to talk is going to be the Ariana dress from Style Art. This is also a very popular pattern, so I was thinking, you know, it would be nice to talk about it. That's a really great pattern. Actually, I made minimum changes to it. Very nice. But let's talk first about this one. Again, as I said, having these kits put together, you know, by the people at Minerva and then tested, you know, you are pretty sure that the fabric is going to meet to be really suitable for the fabric, and in this case it really is. This is a style that I'll not choose very fast. Especially, I mean, the upper part is not really special, but especially here the lower part with these corners and, you know, these cutouts, you know, it's not a handkerchief hand, but it's somewhere in between. So I wasn't sure how that is going to sit on me. You are going to see somewhere pictures from me wearing this dress, but I did not put it on because I want to show you some stuff, and I want to show you the toiles to see then how the fitting changes worked on me. The pattern that I had was in sizes 10 to 18, and based on my measurements, I should have made, I mean, if I was to follow my upper bust to choose my size, it would have been a 16. I'm a 96. The size here 16 is 97 centimeters, so I'm 97 centimeters for my full bust. But I was thinking that's going to be huge, you know. I did measure a little bit the pattern. The pattern should fit, you can see it here, it's not really tight, but should fit a little bit on the body, and of course the lower part is really loose. Let's see the options. This is option C with sleeves, and then you have options A, which is a little bit shorter, and option B, and these two are sleeveless. The neckline is getting finished with facing that is later top stitched at I don't know, a few centimeters from the neckline, so it's also a little bit has a decorative purpose. And the armholes are finished, if I'm not mistaken, with bias binding. Let's see, I can see here in the instructions. Or am I actually crazy? And actually also the armholes in the original pattern, you know, I made this one a while ago, so I cannot remember anymore. Let me just check if the armholes are also in the original pattern finished with facings. Let's take a look. Yes, but I chose to make to bound all the edges, and I'll talk about that in a second. So to get back to my decision about the sizing, I decided on size 14. You know, if I was a lot of time in this kind of, in the big 4, 5, I don't know how much it is these days, patterns, I am using the upper bust measurement to decide on the size, especially for tops and dresses. And in this case, my upper bust is 92 centimeters, and that's exactly a size 14. So that is the size that I chose for this pattern too. As you can see, the pattern is pretty easy. It's not a lot of there are not a lot of things going on. The only thing is that, you know, if you make this sleeveless, you know, it's of course you can decide how you want to have the fit here. But if you make it with sleeves, then it's a little bit more stuff involved, because with sleeves you really want to have the shoulder fitting really nicely, and of course the lower part of the dress, because if it's way too low with the sleeve, it's going to be uncomfortable. But I decided from the beginning that I wanted a nice summer dress without sleeves. Getting back to the fitting garments, because I was not going to cut in this beautiful fabric, this one that it was with the kit included, and also the buttons, they are also with the kit included. This one is a viscose linen mix. It has a little bit of body, so for this kind of design it's really nice. And before I started with that, of course I was not going to cut on that without any test garment, so I decided to make a little toile without any changes in advance. I think I made only a sway back adjustment, but this is my toile, and I'm going to stop the cam and put it on because I really want you to be able to see how this was fitting. And then I'm going to put the second toile so you can compare a little bit. Something else that I should have done, I didn't do it because, you know, fabric shortage. I'm always making a test garment in the same kind of fabric that, or the same, you know, at least the same feel to it and drape. That's really important, you know, to get a really good idea of the final project. In this case I made the first toile out of cotton, just because it's a little bit more stiffer than the final fabric, of course, but my most important thing was to see if I have enough room here over the bust, how the shoulders are going to fit, and actually also how the underarm, if it was not too low. So I'm going to put this on, and you are going to see how it's looking. So as you can see, I have it now on. It's going great with my jersey pants. So this is the first one that the first toile that I made. I decided, you know, for a length, you know, something, you know, like a top length, just because I wasn't going to use all that fabric to have the only for a toile. And this is how it's fitting. I definitely have here already the sway back adjustment made. My only problem was, well, you know, what I did not like was the fact that here the shoulder was really, how should I say, it was really too much, especially on a sleeveless garment. I like to have it a little bit more, just shorter on the shoulder. And also I had the feeling that because I did stay stitch, always if you make a test garment, my advice is to stay stitch your edges, neckline, armholes, because otherwise, you know, they're going to stretch out of shape and it's not going to do any good for your fitting process. So this is the top stitch, stay stitch around 1.5 centimeter away from the edge. Excuse me. What will be the seam allowance? So this was really too long. I wanted really much shorter, something like this, and then keeping in mind to have a little bit of seam allowance to finish this, and I was thinking that's going to make it really nicely, you know, together with a much wider lower part. So with this in mind, I decided to make a few changes. You can see a little bit here in green what I adjusted. I decided that I want to have the shoulder at least 1.5 centimeter narrower, so I shortened that quite a bit, as you can see. I lifted up the underarm seam here by 1 centimeter, and that was pretty much everything. Something to remember in this pattern, here you cannot really see it, but here is actually this panel, which includes of course the neckline and the armhole, so something like this. This is cotton on the bias actually, so this fabric here does have a little bit of give, you know, although the pattern is made in non-stretch fabric. So that's something that it was really, it's nice because, you know, you do get a little bit of not room but more comfort here over your bust, over your the front. Here is the back. I really like the back, how it was fitting, and I knew that it's not supposed to be a really tight garment or something like that. So with all this in mind, so I made 1.5 centimeter here, raised up with by 1 centimeter, and also because I knew that I'm going to have to trim a lot of all these seam allowances, I just adjusted the neckline seam allowance to 0.6 centimeters, so 6 millimeters for the neckline and 1 centimeter for the regarding the back. Of course I had to do the same change for the shoulder seam because those was supposed to meet, so like this. And of course I checked that again to see if they are really the same. And also here I raised a little bit the armhole and brought the seam allowance to only 1 centimeter. So really easy, not a lot of things going on. And also here I have you can really see it, is the sway back adjustment by 1.5 centimeters. And there is of course seam allowance here, which allows you to scoop a little bit more the back if you like, a little bit more fitted here against the back. Again, I'm going to try to put pictures here on the side. Because I had all these changes only here on the upper part, again I went to the size 14 instead of the size 16 what the measurements were telling me. And this is actually the lower part of the dress, if you come here, so I didn't have to adjust this one. Now that I told you what the changes were, so keep in mind this one how it's looking now. 1.5 centimeter seam allowance here. Keep that in mind, and I'm going to put this one on and you'll be able to see the difference. So as you can see, this is how the adjusted one is looking. The back is really nice, and as you can see already this one looks much better, thinking that this in the end would come a little bit more shorter. And of course this one here, the neckline, I think this was the perfect fix, you know, to those really wide shoulders like here. So it took only a little bit of adjustment. I think the fit is nice over the bust. This comes a little bit higher. I'm really pleased how that those changes worked. I was saying about the neckline of the dress and the armholes. In the original pattern you have everything is getting finished with facings, but you know, It's not that I don't like facings, I'm really okay with facings, but I was thinking, why should I use facings when I just can, you know, put some binding on and turn it and stitch it. And this is what I did here. I just I have a double folded bias binding cut from the same fabric, stitch it onto the dress, press it to the back, and then stitch it again, press it all the way, and I think it's a really beautiful finish without any other top stitching or things like that. A word about the pockets. If you are going to look for this pattern to get a review online, you find everywhere that people are making remarks about the pockets. The pockets on this one, they are really, really, really low. I cannot remember how much higher I did place them. Well, if you are checking the pattern here, you can also see that they were supposed to be somewhere here down. You can see on this girl, and actually they are more, they're not really functional, or they were not supposed to be functional. But I kind of wanted them to be functional. You know, I'm not going to put my phone or whatever, but you know, put a candy or something like that. And if I was to measure, let's see, if I'm measuring from the side, the beginning of the pocket, this is 24.5. And the original was, let's see, about 34.5. So I raised the pockets about 10 centimeter, so they were supposed to be somewhere here down, and now I think they are really on a great spot. Something else I had, because my fabric was not heavy, but I was thinking it's going to be really too much if I was going to use the same fabric for the pockets, because the pockets are double. And you know, I'm going to take this from this girl. I can show it to you. Let's take a look. You can see here my binding, and the same is for the armhole. And here you can see the pockets. And the nice thing about these pockets, I don't know if you can see, I think you can. They are gathered here at the lower part, and the inside of there are two pocket pieces. The inside, if I'm not mistaken, of course, the inside is just a straighter piece, and you gather the outside to the inside. And I use just a little bit of cotton, and I know it's not the right color, but you know, if you turn this really nicely to the inside, just allow for a little bit of turn of the cloth, you cannot see anything from the outside. And I would say, you know, I'm not a big fan of patch pockets, but these ones, they are really, really cute. And I've seen this, I think, in Janet Prey Craftsy class. The secret for the perfect patch pocket is actually top stitching, of course, stitching it to the garment, if you are not using one of those fancy stitching that you don't see the stitching. But if you just make a patch pocket, say that really fast, the secret is to stitch it really, really very close to the edge here, so very secure and really against the much on the edge. I think that's really, really important for a perfect patch pocket. So this is how it's looking. I think it's a really pretty dress. I just want to show you the hem before I put it away. Let's see, you can see it that, well, you did see it in the pictures, of course. It's quite a bit of a hem, and I chose to make really the longest one, and I was thinking, you know, if I don't like it, I can always cut it. But I think it's really, really pretty. They do have instructions how to miter the corners, you know, I just did my thing, and you know, they look okay. But it is nice to have this hem really nicely straight, and you know, also those corners, because they are going to show when you are walking with this. So this was what I had to say about Simplicity. Let's see, that is 8640. This really, really pretty dress. I'm really, really happy with it, actually. And yeah, it was minimum of effort. This you just put it together in, you know, in 10 minutes, and you have a really nice starting point to get a nice garment. Very pleased with the fabric. It holds really nicely in the wash, and it feels also, if it's warm outside, it feels really, really nice, especially in this design, which is really flowy, and you know, you have a lot of space. And I was thinking that I found this little belt, and if I'm not really in the mood to wear it so you know, loose, and I want to have a little bit of shaping. I was thinking that this could also work, you know, a little belt. I think it looks quite nice. Well, something like this I think is also really nice. So now I'm going to change these girls, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ariana woven dress. Yes, I'm going to do that. Okay everyone, now to talk a little bit about the Ariana woven dress. I got only warmer and warmer from all this changing, but I thought, well, I should put this one on so you can see it on a little bit. So the Ariana woven dress, this one is also as a sewing kit available on the Minerva website. Of course, also separately you can buy the fabrics and stuff, but this one is also made as a kit, and I made it also as a, I got the offer to make the kit to test it, and I did that. I'm going to put, of course, links to these fabrics. I cannot remember the names anymore. And you know, I was thinking when I saw this fabric, you know, I was thinking, well, this is not something that I will wear, but it's such a fun fabric also to sew it, and also the print is really, really nice. This one is one of their Minerva exclusive challis. Really beautiful fabric, really easy to work with, and very, very soft. And actually I had this this dress for a while in my stash, but I was, you know, the thing is with testing with me, I get to make things, and I'm always working really, really well when I have a deadline. So I know that I need to make something, and this is how I get to make things when, you know, sometimes I have them already for a while and I forget about them, or, you know, something new is coming up on my list. But this Ariana dress, I had to make it, you know, because I had the kit, and this is what I got. Size wise from Style Arc, usually I'm making a size 12, depending on the garment, depending what it is. And in this case I made a size 12 for the bust and for the waist and the hips, because there is quite a bit of ease here in the hips. That was not really important, but I decided that I want to have a size 10 for the waist, and that's it. That's actually exactly what the finished measurements are saying here for my size, for my measurements. So with the finished measurements in my mind and my own measurements, I decided to make size 12 and 10 for the waist. The pattern is actually pretty easy to make. I mean, if you have fitted this part here, the rest is not, it's pretty easy. The rest, what is the rest? The rest is only the skirt, and which is gathered into the waist, and the buttons. But these are my pieces. And as you can see, I have not, I don't have really changes. This is the same as per pattern. And also here I kept in mind to have 12 for the bust and 10 for the waist. I didn't make 12 for this one because of the sheared panel in the back. You know, there is a sheared panel here on the back. But I did put the pattern pieces a little bit together with pins, of course, and I tested to see how, because here this part over the bust, you know, to have it enough, to have enough width here to be able to close the dress was the most important, and that's what I did. I put that on, you know, the pieces with pins, and then saw how that's going to fit. It's not really safe, but you know, it is a step off, you know, to get an idea. The thing is with this dress, with the Ariana woven dress, and I have here, I brought this one. This one is, and I wanted to look it up, but I forgot. I think it's the Sienna dress is called, and this one is from Sew Over It. These dresses, they are really, they are pretty similar, of course. It's the same type of sundress, and this one here, this one is double because, you know, the skirt is double because I used burnt fabric, burnt out it's called. But the thing is, the difference is the Sienna dress, or the dress from Sew Over It, has the sheared panel, which you can see the elastic here, and then the front, the rest of the body is lined. But this one here, and that brought me into problems a little bit, the style arc dress actually, that sheared panel is actually double. And you need to keep in mind that if you are using a directional print, that you have to, when you, this is actually the panel that is getting sheared, you have to fold this in half, and here on the upper part is getting a piece of elastic, and then you have a doubled sheared panel, let's say. My problem with this one began when I decided to use for elastic. You know, in the kit you do get 2 spools of shearing elastic. I think there are 2, but I had a little bit of elastic left over from another project on a bobbin, and I was thinking, you know, I'm on a bobbin, yes, because you use shearing elastic only on a bobbin, in the bobbin, and I was thinking I'm going to use that, you know, to start working on my panel. Here you can see here is in the upper part is a bit of elastic that is fitted through that part, and then the whole bodice is doubled. So as I said, I started sewing on my piece of fabric to make the shearing panel, but I ran out of elastic, so I had to make another bobbin with elastic. The thing is that, of course, the tension that I used on this new bobbin, it was totally different than the tension I had, because you put it on your bobbin with your hand, you don't stretch, but you obviously you are going to put a little bit of tension, and that messed up totally my shearing panel. If I was to make this in a fabric that was not directional, but I have these little tigers, or what they are, you know, they need to sit down, as you can see. So I think I was almost, I think a third of the panel I had to do it with the new bobbin, and of course, because the tension was different, my panel was completely different. It didn't have the same tension as the rest of it. So the lower part here, you can see that is a little bit bubbly. So I really could not, actually I did sew it, you know, how it was supposed to be, with the print, with the little animals sitting on their feet. But it was looking so terrible. It was so, what you see here, this bubbling on the inside, and I think you can see it. This was on the outside, and even when the dress was stretched on my body, it was still not sitting right. So I had to take it out, to take it out from the bodice and turn it. And now, of course, the thing is that this being so, how should I say, scrunched up, you cannot see that my animals are upside down. You really cannot see. But it was something that I had in my head that it's going to bother me. Well, it's not, because it's really not. It's really invisible. But I was thinking that that's something really that you need to keep in mind, that if you are starting a project like this, just make a new bobbin, you know, or 2, make them, and you have you know how much tension you put it in the first one, you put the same on the second one, and you have a perfect sheared panel. Don't do it like I did. It's just going to take a lot of time and a lot of frustration for nothing, you know. It's no use. For the rest, as I said, the rest of the body is cut double, and that's giving a really nice finish on the inside. The original pattern has just the simple straps, but because I knew that I was not going to be able to fit them on myself, to be sure that I'm going to like the fit, I just added a ring and a slider, you know, like from an old bra. I have this in my stash. And like this I can really easily adjust the dress like I want. There are patch pockets on the dress. I don't have them on my dress. I have them here on my table. You know, I was thinking I'm not going to use them. You cannot see them on the dress, so it would be totally useless, waste of time. And for the rest, I must say that the fit is really spot on with the measurements and the size that I chose based on my measurements and on the finished measurements chart. I think it's really spot on. Of course, you have a little bit, but that's not going to be a lot. You have a little bit of give because of this panel here, but you need to keep in mind that, and that's something that I did, at least I don't know, it's not in the instruction, I think. You know, when you put your dress on the back, especially, I like to stretch this a little bit, this center panel, to build a little bit of give also into the skirt here, so it's not going to be really rigid and only this. If you are, when you are putting the skirt into this part here, just stretch it a little bit, and you, of course, it's going to scrunch back, but it's going to give you a little bit of extra room. That's something that I did on this one, and on this one it was in the instructions, and here I did it even more. As you can see, I get a little bit even more give here on the back. So it's a really easy dress to make. I think if you are making the adjustments to fit your bust really nice, for the rest it's really fun and nice to make. Something that I used for the gazillion buttons here, also the buttons, they are also in the kit. I used some, and I don't have it here on hand, but I have it here on the channel, some water soluble stabilizer for the buttons. Very, very important to have this fabric fit really nicely on the with the buttonhole foot for my machine. So that was really easy also. And for the rest, yeah, this is a really fun dress, you know, especially, you know, they call it a sun dress. So yeah, I had only one word, you know, I've got, of course, the printed pattern from Minerva for this dress, but I remember something that a while ago I printed a pattern from Minerva. I cannot remember which one or for what it was, and I forgot. Usually I am printing in color when I'm printing my PDFs, but I did forget to print in color for this one, and I printed only a few sizes. I don't know anymore. I think 8, 10 and 12, something like that. But the problem is that if you are printing style art patterns in only black and white, later it's really impossible to say. It's really hard to say which size is which line is which size, because the lines are completely the same in black and white. You cannot see the difference. In color, of course, they have different colors, but I think that's really frustrating. Of course, in this case it was really easy because the colors are there. So yeah, I remember that. Something else that is not in the pattern, but they did put it in the instructions, I noticed. They talk about adding some fusible interfacing on the, depending on the fabric, but in a dress like this you always use a fabric that is soft and delicate. So they advise to use maybe some interfacing on the area where the buttons and the buttonholes, especially the buttonholes, are coming. And of course I did use here a strip of fusible interfacing, and also here for the skirt part. That's very, very important. For the rest, you see it on me. Is I kept the same length as per pattern. I didn't change there anything. So I think this was a fun project. I like it. And I think that was it. A little bit about what is coming next on the channel. Of course, I have to make my monthly flip through from KnipMode, and I'm going also to show you the pattern that I have it here. I have the garment here on my table. It's almost finished. I made already a pair of jeans from KnipMode, and let's see, where are they? Of course I cannot find them now. It was also again a matter of something that I never do, actually, you know, to check up front if I have enough fabric, and I was convinced that I do have, that is going to be enough. So from KnipMode I made these jeans here, and I'm going to talk about them in the next video. As you can see, it's really, they have a really cool pocket here. They have like a gore, what's the name of this one, inserted here on the leg on the outside, but I realized when I was cutting my fabric that actually that triangle is a full triangle that's going to the back and to the front, and I didn't have enough fabric. So you'll see my version is going, I still need to have them. It's going to be a little bit different, as I just added on front and on the back some extra width. These are the really cool pockets. I still need to put my button, and they are really, really cool. And let's see, I have some fun. Actually, it's the same cotton as from the test garment from earlier. I still need to do some finishing touches, and I will talk about the fit, as I have also a toile for this, and it's going to be really fun to see how the toile worked and the changes that I made and why I made them, and also some style changes that I decide that I would like to make, comparing with the pattern. So I highly recommend you to check the video, because it's going to be some I think some useful information also about top stitching. And I used for the jeans, I used my puff, Smarter by Puff, I think it's 216 to 60C, something like that. It's a small machine, but the top stitching is just amazing. Great quality top stitching with just a little bit of adjustments. I'm really happy. And something else that I got this month, this was pre-ordered. They sent me the money back after months and months because they could not deliver, and then I ordered again. It came in a week. And I would like to make a video also about this one. It was really interesting to look into this book. And next week, I hope, I will get also the latest book from Alison Smith, and I'm really excited about that one. I mean, maybe I could, but I'm not in the position to go to London to follow classes with Alison Smith, so a book by her is the best next thing. This was it for today. I'm going to wrap it up now, and please put your comments here under the video, and I would like to hear your opinions about the stuff that I made, you know, dresses and some other things. And I will see you here in the next video, maybe with jeans one. Take care, everybody. Bye.